first drive. 2019 Aston Martin Vantage is a legitimate Porsche 911 Adversary. Rain will not dampen my eagerness to drive Aston Martin's all-new Vantage sports car around Portugal's spectacular racing circuit at Autódromo Internacional do Algarve, which is better known as Portimão Circuit. Skies are dark, and water droplets are falling from the clouds at an alarming rate, yet the Lime Essence Coupe high-end piloting is a bright standout on the smooth racing circuit, its sexy silhouette complemented by an artful contrail of water spray that hangs in the air for hundreds of feet in my wake. 12 years after its predecessor's debut, the British automaker has introduced an all-new replacement that carries literally nothing forward. The new model is a blank sheet do-over with the company's latest generation bonded aluminum chassis buried beneath Aston's very distinctive, yet immediately recognizable, design language. The coupe is muscular, brawny, and aggressive, yet meticulously sculpted to be clean and aerodynamic. Note the lack of tacky add-on wings or gaudy splitters. If the exterior design doesn't blow you away, I feel it's drop-dead gorgeous. Apart from the undersized front headlights, then its opulent passenger cabin will capture your heart. The Vantage presents the most advanced and notably aromatic, the leather smell is intoxicating, cockpit that has ever emerged from its Gaydon design team. A pair of deeply contoured bucket seats, with integrated head restraints, face a driver-oriented dashboard with an organically shaped center console and instrument panel. The primary display, with the speedometer and tachometer, is digital, which is complemented by another multifunction digital infotainment screen at the top of the dashboard. The balance of controls are an array of toggle switches, rotary dials, and glass-faced buttons, mimicking a jet cockpit, that becomes second nature after some initial familiarization. The seating position is comfortable, yet the drop-in is low. Vision outward is acceptable for a coupe, but the view to the rear quarters is limited. I move the exterior mirrors wide to fill in the gaps. Depressing the glowing engine start button, which is prominently mounted dead center on the console, fires the Mercedes-AMG sourced, twin-turbocharged, 4.0-liter V8 to life with a raucous growl. Its exhaust note sounds downright angry. My first few laps in the downpour are cautious. I've got the windshield wipers are at their highest setting, the adaptive skyhook damping, Sport, Sport Plus, and track modes, setting on its softest, and my fingers clenched around the flat-bottom steering wheel. The tires claw for grip, the rear end still steps out with anything more than 50% throttle, 503 horsepower and 505 pound-feet of torque is the obvious culprit. The Pirelli P0 tires, crafted with Aston Martin's custom formulation to maximize traction, struggle to accomplish their objective. It's a white-knuckle exercise. Yet, after a half-dozen laps, things begin to improve. I'm getting used to the 2.9-mile circuit and beginning to trust the Vantage's chassis dynamics. There's a lot going on, all of it engineered to improve vehicle stability and increase my speed. First is the aforementioned adaptive damping, which allows the driver to tailor the shocks to the road surface. Second is dynamic torque vectoring, DTV, which applies power in a manner to help turn the vehicle. Lastly is the new electronic rear differential, EDIF. The EDIF works with electronic stability control to ensure that the maximum amount of engine power is distributed to the wheel best able to use it. It can go from fully open to 100% locked in milliseconds. I can feel the technology working, a gentle pulse in the throttle, a nudge in my backside, or a subtle course correction mid-corner. I'm lapping at a surprising pace under extraordinarily challenging conditions. The steering is quick, and each slight turn of the wheel is met with near instantaneous turn-in. The Vantage's rear subframe has solid mounts, not flimsy rubber ones, to help eliminate any squishy feeling. My pace is calculated and safe, yet the coupe is sharp, very sharp. Peering down at the digital speedometer at the end of Portimão's front straight, I catch a glimpse of 152 miles per hour, in the pouring rain, fast, but still far short of the Aston's top speed of 195 miles per hour. The Vantage's standard brakes are ventilated cast iron discs with 6 piston calipers in the front, and 4 piston calipers in the rear. However, my striking Lime-Essence test vehicle is wearing the optional carbon ceramic brake upgrade, which promise fade-free braking regardless of the torture. As expected, I don't experience any fade while bleeding speed back into the double digits for turn 1, but the pedal isn't as firm as I would like. I blame press car abuse. I'm betting the standard steel brakes, tucked beneath 20-inch wheels, are just fine for most everyone. Most notable on the track is the vehicle's tossability, which is enthusiast speak for fun to drive. The Aston relishes power-induced drifts, which are surprisingly easy to execute. I've got a big smile plastered on my face, which only wanes when the checkered flag announces the day has come to an end. While the track exercise was revealing, it wasn't my only opportunity to drive Vantage. I also spent a day on the public roads in southern Portugal, and it was also continuously raining with fog and wind thrown into the mix. The experience at slower speeds was equally as engaging, especially considering the delightful soundtrack emanating from the Aston's quad exhaust pipes when the turbocharged V8 opened. Each press of the gas pedal was accompanied with glorious music bellowing from the aft end of the sports car. The Aston Martin Vantage may be the best sounding vehicle on the road today, no joke. The turbocharged engine is an absolute jewel, as is the chassis and suspension tuning, both near perfect on public roads. And, there's even a reasonably sized trunk in the tail that holds a couple bags and a mandatory umbrella. While tire noise permeates the cabin, the DB11, Aston's new Grand Tourer, is notably quieter. The rumble is no more intrusive than the sound levels of any other vehicle in this affluent, yet very sporty, segment. Speaking of the competition, Aston Martin shamelessly points out that its new Vantage is targeting the venerable Porsche 911, the segment's long-standing benchmark. With a base price of $149,995 MSRP, plus a destination charge of $3,086, the new coupe lines up nicely with the 911 GTS. The Aston offers more power and better acceleration performance than its German rival, and the British interior is much more lavish, yet my rain-soaked driving impressions say the lighter 911 still holds the edge and sporty nimbleness. Truth is, most drivers genuinely don't know how to exploit the Porsche's rear-engine advantages. What the segment's shoppers will note, without any coaching, is the Aston Martin's sexy appearance, its to die for exhaust notes, powerful on-road performance, and an interior that rivals that of vehicles at twice the cost. Enthusiasts have sat patiently for more than a decade waiting for Aston Martin to deliver an all-new Vantage. It appears the wait was worth it.